Also want to add, nilimsikia huyu governor wa Nyeri na nimemsikia mara mingi na ninajua tumewasikia. Kila saa watu wakiongea, yeye anaongea mambo ya sijui Muma walikunywa 1969. Na mara anaongea mambo ya Mchawi. Hii yake look bewitched. Hii mambo ya kuturudisha mambo ati watu walikunywa Muma sijui Othing 1969 abaki huko peke yake. We have moved as Kenyans, and he cannot become like the cultic father who is always holding us back to issues that make no meaning to us. Whatever decisions we make to choose, choices we make in the future, we will make them. Whether walikunywa Muma ama they were bewitched, hiyo ni shida yake na watu yake. He should now start thinking of things that are more useful. Tunaona ile vita iko kwa maji, Ministry of Water. Pesa zimehamishwa Murang'a. What you also don't know ni kwamba hata pesa zimehamishwa Nyandarua. Daragwa, I left money allocated for water pans and desiltation of dams even in that area. Kwa hivyo hii kitu ilikuwa inaitwa sijui mnasema Kenya kwisha. Hii ni Kikuyu kwisha. It's no longer Kenya kwisha, ni Kikuyu kwisha, and that is why as Kamwene we want to wake up and come together so that we can also articulate our issues and be able to say what we want to say politically, economically, socially, culturally. Hiyo ingine ni gani? Hata ya kanisa, kwa sababu kanisa ndio ilitumiwa na jiabaya kuharibu watu wakaamuka mapema huko pande ya Mount Kenya. Kwa hivyo all these areas are things that we are going to be addressing. Niseme tu nikimalizia ili wenzangu waseme moja ama mbili.
Doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results. Simalizi hapo. Ni vizuri nikuambie ukiwa hapa Nyeri so you know. We don't have Raila phobia. Baba Keke Uhuru Kenyatta took us through an oath never to vote for that man. Si ni kweli? Idemoti anywi na Mumba. Sasa mnapoteza wasaa mpaka hii generation iende ndio mtasaidika. Lakini hapa hatuwasaidi, ni vizuri niwaambie.
What we want to say is support the national dialogue process. We are fully supportive of that. This Jubilee is a party that believes in constitutionalism, the rule of law, and peaceful coexistence of all Kenyans. We also believe that election is an event must have timelines, and there must be a winner and a loser. And that is why we as Jubilee made a conscious decision to accept the democratic process the Kenyan people have undertaken in the month of August 2022. There are issues, we are told, as we support this particular process, we are told that there are certain invitations based on coalitions. We want to also, as we have done before, Jubilee is an independent political party that is not part of Azimio coalition, neither part of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. It's an independent political party, and for information, it's the third largest party in Kenya, and the second largest party actually under the former coalition of Azimio. So there are a number of issues that we have itemized. First, the issue of cost of living is something that affects all of us, and therefore what we need is a holistic approach that addresses all aspects of that issue. Not politicization. How do we address the cost of living? It's not a one-day event, and this is one thing that we have clearly addressed, and we are saying that we need to put our foot together as leadership, as citizens, in order to bring about affordable housing, food security, affordable healthcare. Then these issues require concerted effort by Kenyans, not politicization through propaganda or through demonstrations. The other bit that we have also talked about is the issue of gender equity. The issue of that is in the Constitution. In the last parliament, that is 12th parliament, the then CJ made a decision, actually the Supreme Court, let me say, and declared the 12th parliament unconstitutional. This is not something that, because it's a constitutional provision, we must think out of the box and address this issue, and once and for all address it with finality. That's why we as Jubilee propose that this issue of gender equity once and for all, so that we also comply. The issue of CDF has always been a motive issue. Where I come from, you always say our first government was CDF. So anything that rubbishes or takes away CDF, and that applies to all members of parliament, it takes, we will assume that person is hell-bent on taking our rights. So we also feel that the issue of CDF must also be entrenched in the Constitution. Now, election being an event, the issue of the office of official opposition, I know people want it. But right now they are skirting that particular issue. Our proposal is as explained by our party leader, that our proposal is the runner-up, the person who becomes second after the general election occupies the office, that office in the National Assembly. And the running mate of that person also occupies the second, that is the deputy official position in the Senate. That will bring a bit of discipline and acceptability, and therefore the issue of pushing will not be done. The other bit that we have also added in our proposal is the issue of fidelity to the existence of political parties. We as Jubilee, before the election we were party to a coalition. That coalition didn't work. And therefore we applied the necessary professions to exit. That must be respected. We cannot be forced into a marriage that we don't believe in. That is why in Parliament and everywhere else, our pronouncement is Jubilee as a party, as an independent party that does not belong to the Kenya Kwanza or as we a coalition, must be respected as an independent political entity. And that is why we are here. The other bit that I think we should also part of this is, you see, the reason why we have a generous and progressive constitution is for all of us to submit to the rule of law. You can't selectively use the law when it fits you. The issue of mandamandos, destruction of public property, causing mayhem, this must be done within the rule of law. And our proposal is whoever calls for public demonstration must also ensure that those who are not interested in that demonstration or those who participate in that particular demonstration also enjoy a bit of peace and tranquility. And that is our proposal, so that it doesn't just become a one-end proposal, way proposal. It should be two ways, so that whoever is proposing this enjoys the constitutional right. The other person who wants to just be an observer also enjoys the constitutional right of being an observer. In all this, the bottom line is this: we have a country, and we are bringing this proposal so that we can also enhance our governance platform. And that's why we truly believe in the rule of law, and adherence to the rule of law, both in letter and spirit. Thank you so much.
Asante, kwa sababu sasa tumesema kwa